Hello and welcome to another episode of Taylor Talks Comics. Today we're going to dive into some recent work by James Stokoe. Okay, so James Stokoe is one of my favorite current artists going in comics, and I want to show off some stuff that he's been doing recently because he does have quite the catalog of comics in general. One in particular, Aliens Dead Orbit. Go find that hardcover. It was released by Dark Horse in an oversized edition, and Dark Horse no longer has the license for Aliens comics, so I don't know how Marvel, if they will ever reprint that story, but it's fantastic. It's my favorite Aliens comic ever, and I do love a lot of Aliens comics. But James Stokoe. So right away, you can see that he has this very, very detailed, almost claustrophobic, insanely obsessive art style, and that's what I love about him. Reminds me of Jeff Darrow, and many other artists I can't think of right now off the top of my head. But first I want to show off Orphan and the Five Beasts. This is his comic book that he's been working on with Dark Horse. As you can see, it has a connecting cover. And this will be 4 issues long, and I'm sure the connecting cover will continue. The most recent issue came out in April, I believe. And the next issue, sorry, I had to look it up. The next issue comes out in November, and then the 4th issue comes out in February. And I believe the first 2 came out a month apart, but I think the Marvel work, which I'm going to show off next, was the reason why there's a little bit of a delay there. But November and then February, it makes me think that maybe he has more work in the pipeline, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with waiting for the story to be concluded if it means James Stokoe is getting work elsewhere. I always love when my favorite artists that don't necessarily work in the Big 2 get some Big 2 work, because it just raises the profile of their name and more people can enjoy their work. And then they can have a little bit more freedom and to do the stories they want to elsewhere. So this is the first issue. Orphan the Five Beasts is a kung fu epic. And the story is pretty simple. You have Orphan Mo, the main character, is asked by the rule over the land to go and murder the other 5 orphans who were trained by the same person, but they're trying to destroy the land now. So Orphan Mo's job and journey throughout the story then, Orphan Mo, is to go and kill these people. And I'm just going to flip through and show you the great artwork. If you want a kung fu epic, then, I mean, you can't go any, and there's like lots of blood and gore, lots of violence. If you're not too weak-stomached for that kind of artwork. But this character is called Thunder Thighs. He is on the cover of the next volume, and there's even the ad for the next issue, which came out. And I believe that's just some other Dark Horse comics. And the back covers too have like that logo on it. This was issue number 2, starring Thunder Thighs, and how Orphan Mo would take down this ginormous, massive man in order to complete her mission for her master. But again, how do you look at this artwork and not instantly want to go buy this? I don't know. But they have already solicited a trade paperback for this that will have all 4 issues in it. Just the blood and gore and galore and a kung fu epic. And then this is 3rd issue's May 19th. So like I said, I think this was supposed to be a monthly, just 4 months in a row. But then it's got delayed because this issue, May 19th, hasn't even come out yet. And we're in September of 2021. Next, let's do Stormbreakers. So this cover is obviously not Stokoe. Looking at his art. But he didn't do the cover for this issue. But this is, or not Stormbreakers, I'm sorry. Heroes Reborn. Stormbreakers is the artist here. Carmen Carnero is one of the Stormbreakers, where Marvel has a new line of up-and-coming artists that are all minorities and some members of the LGBTQ community, I believe. Which, they've done great work. So check out their work. But this is Heroes Born issue number 4. This is the variant cover because James Stokoe didn't do a cover for this issue, which I was kind of sad about. And I just wanted the interiors because James Stokoe did them. And this came out, does it have a cover? I don't think it has a date when this came out. Where's the indicia? I don't know, it came out this past summer though. And James Stokoe was doing the art, so what I think happened is that Orphan and the Five Beasts got put on delay because Stokoe got hired for this job. And Heroes Reborn was written by Jason Aaron as part of his Avengers run right now that he's doing. And I believe each issue in Heroes Reborn was done by a different artist. So when I found out, look at that rocket right here. And that Groot, that's Groot right there. And that's the Watcher, I would assume. When I found out that Stokoe did the interiors for this though, that's Thanos. I saw it on my LCS. Look at this too, this is great. This is like something right out of Kirby's sketchbook. I've seen Brendan McCarthy also do a version of this, but it was like the Mad Hatter for a comic that he did. And then look at Rocket Raccoon. Just all action, all interesting. Every image on the page is just cluttered with interesting little minutia when you get a Stokoe comic. But I found this comic in my LCS and I was like, what? He did the interiors for a Marvel comic? That's insane. But I didn't pick it up right away because I was like, well, it's like the issue 4 of a series. Like, am I going to be confused? But my friend Ben from the Cupcake Comic Book Club, who hunted down this issue for me, loved this series by Jason Aaron, and he told me that I would not be lost reading it, so I should go and pick it up. But you even get some of that science fiction violence by James Stokoe. And then next, Nighthawk. And then there's a backup strip not done by Stokoe. And then there's the checklist for how to read the whole series. But it was great to see Stokoe get that work, and it looks like he got more because he was in the first issue of Deadpool Black, White, and Blood. Now, this new Black, White, and Blood series that Marvel's been doing is very reminiscent of the Batman Black and White that DC Comics did. Instead, it's Black, White, and Blood. The first one that came out was Wolverine. It was a 4-issue series, I believe, 4 or 5. And then they did Carnage, which is 4 or 5 issues. And now Deadpool. I didn't read the Wolverine series because I was waiting for the Treasury Edition to come out, which I still have not picked up. But I did pull all of the Carnage issues, and I was a little disappointed with the Carnage issues. The art was great, but the stories were too... The idea is that you have a different artist. So like each issue has like 3 different artists in it. And they would each get to do their own take on the character, basically. Like out of continuity, in continuity, whatever they wanted to do. Just a quick little story. And a lot of the Carnage issues were tied, it seemed, to like the Donny Cates era Venom run, which I have no issues with. I just have never read that run. So maybe it would have been more enjoyable if I was familiar with what was going on. But Deadpool, 2 issues have come out so far, and I'm not a huge Deadpool fan. I think the best incarnation of Deadpool is from the movies, Ryan Reynolds, in my opinion. I've yet to find a Deadpool comic that I enjoyed besides this series. Both issue 1 and 2 have come out. I've read both issues. They were some of the most enjoyable comics I've read all year in the single issue format. And I think they got it right. I think Deadpool is the perfect character to do in a series like this where you get one artist to do their take, one artist and writer to do their take and get in and out in 8 pages or so. This first story is by Tom Taylor, artist is Phil Noto, and actually takes place in the continuity of the all-new Wolverine run with Honey Badger. Honey Badger? Do I have that name right? It's Gabby. I'm sorry. I just recently read the whole omnibus though, and it was very enjoyable. So it's kind of cool that I read that omnibus and this popped up. But like I said about Carnage, maybe if you had not read that, you would not enjoy this story. I don't know. The next story here is done by, where's the credits here? Ed Brisson, Wills Portasio is the artist, and then Rachel Rosenberg does the color work, and VC's Joe Sabino does all the lettering, for these first two strips, and then James Stokoe, which we'll get to, is a writer, artist, and letterer in that last one. So this is Wills Portasio, who I've not seen his work, his artwork, since like the height of his 90s run. I have to say, this was pretty enjoyable. The staple came out there to see. I mean, like, just action-packed. And I'll probably do a separate series, a separate video on all the Deadpool Black, White, and Blood because I've been enjoying it so much, and there's so many cool artists working on it. Like Daniel Warren Johnson is in issue number 3. Stan Sakai is in issue number... Daniel Warren Johnson's in issue 2. Stan Sakai is in issue 3. Mike Allred is in issue 4. That's James Stokoe to the bunch, and those are probably 4 of my peak favorite artists going in comics today. I think Liam Sharp would be the only other one I'd throw into my top 5 there. This is James Stokoe doing Deadpool. And right away you can see feels like post-apocalyptic Mad Max kind of scenario. You get Omega Red. What a great Omega Red by James Stokoe. And just more great work. And there's lots of red in this, which the idea is it's supposed to be Black, White, and Blood. The only red you should be seeing is the blood. But I'm not going to tell James Stokoe what to do, because he's so amazing and brilliant, and I will read any comic book he does the artwork for. But that's just the great work. Here's that's the main cover for issue 2. Those artists that I listed that are my favorite 2 are all doing variant covers. This is the variant edition for this cover. Daniel Warren Johnson did the cover for 2, Stan Sakai has the cover for 3, and Mike Allred has the cover for 4. So I'm definitely getting the variants of my favorite artists. But this is James Stokoe's recent work. Check him out. Let me know in the comments down below if you are also a Stokoe fan, or maybe you've never even heard of him, and maybe you want to check his work out because of this video. I can give you some recommendations. He done Orc Stain, like I said, he's done Alien, Dead Orbit. What were some of the ones he did? I don't know. He's great though. Let me know in the comments and I'll tell you what to hunt down. Or let me know if you're a big Stokoe fan. Let me know if there's a character of Marvel you wish Stokoe could do the artwork for. Let me know if you're enjoying Orphan and the 5 Beasts. Let me know. And like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for joining me today. See ya.